What's up, y'all? This is just going to be a little bit of a match review. A local player named Z asked me to check it out, see what could be the issue with him losing. He was a C player back then, but it took me quite a while to get to this. Now he's B, so he's been grinding out and improving, but let's see if how he improved matches up with what my advice would have been if I got to this earlier. I'll stop it every so often and talk about a few things. The goal here is to call out small things with big impact. He's playing against a one of our stronger local players, Mr. Roy, and let's kick it off. So he's picking Elena here against Yang. Off the bat, I'm just gonna say healing is not the way to go, just because of the speed that Yang has. You want to be able to hit him immediately and do big damage off of that. Okay, cross-ups are hard to deal with. That's an experience thing. I mean, not much to complain about of that. No big drops, nothing like that. Okay, dashing against Shang with Elena, probably not the best. Cross-ups hard to deal with. That I feel like this round was pretty self-explanatory, but I guess let's look at a few things. Okay, simple. That could have been a car throw. That could have been a knockdown. That literally would have changed the course of the match. I know it's nitpicky, but like, wow, that freeze frame though. I know it's nitpicky, but that would have gave you a little more time to breathe for your stun, etc. So what happens next? Missed throw, so he gains space and just be's a crazy guy. Okay. Cross-ups are hard. Okay, so it looks like that round he was getting in by jumping. So let's just take a note of that. Alright. You know, I don't gotta tell you. That slide, let's just think about the risk reward here. Yang can punish, can punish almost anything most of the time with the EX slash. It's very quick. He can punish a lot of things. Slide is big negative. You would have gained a silly little knockdown and a little bit of damage, and he would have just got knocked down. You don't have you don't have any meter or brave dance to really capitalize Elena's after that knockdown. So like the risk reward here is all off, right? All right. Okay, good defense. He's tagging you a bit. Yeah. Okay, so this is one of the things that I mean, it's honestly like jump, do a little thing, jump again. This is common, but in reality, what I think would be the solution here would be, if your anti-air doesn't work, like your throw didn't work there, right? So you know, but you have time to see that he jumped, right? So basically you know exactly what's coming next, right? You're gonna have to block, or in a perfect world you would have parried this hit and then actually got the throw, or big punish with like brave dance, right? Or you block the throw, or I'm sorry, you block this kick and then mash EX uppercut. I mean, as scrubby as that sound, Elena does that sometimes. It's not a bad option, especially because Yang wants to take advantage of this while you're in the corner, right? Understanding who you're playing against is going to give you, and it's not just who you're playing against, but in general, when people are in the corner, unless you've like shown them a reason that they need to back off or block in certain situations after they get a slight advantage, you could probably get away with EX get off me, right? Anyway, food for thought. Oh, and it would have worked there because he command grabbed. See? Alright. God. Okay. Oh, God. Okay. I love you, Z. But here, listen. That parry to Brave Dance would have basically evened up life. Instead, it was parry throw, or parry... What was it? Oh, he just jumps away and then healing, right? So, I mean, sweet, healing. It doesn't heal as much as it does damage to the other character, and Yang is always super fast and super annoying. You're gonna struggle to get away from this guy, right? So healing just isn't the right take. But I'm pretty sure you're aware. Yep, on the standard Yang. You can see here, I think the biggest takeaway here is that he's getting you with the anti-airs. So, making sure any perfect dive kicks, if there's any perfect dive kicks, you uppercut them, or jump back, parry, something like that. Alright, Q. So I really like Q. This is my main, so this is who I'll play. Or this is who I'll have probably more to say about. Yep, I hate that. That happens. Okay. Alright. So after a parry mid-screen, in my humble opinion, if you have meter, obviously you should punish and use your meter. But here what happens is you parry into throw. I know it was probably just an option select, but you probably have to take a little bit of a, break a little bit of bad habit to parry, stomp, slap. Parry, stomp, slap gets you a little more damage, probably a little more meter, and a slightly better instance after the slaps end. Here, you don't get really anything, unfortunately. Alright, moving on. Alright, so in this situation, you gotta hit, and in this situation, I would swap what you did. I would, instead of doing stomp into dash punch, I would do back throw into the corner, right? Because at this point, the corner for Q is much more advantageous, right? Really, that's the biggest thing. Unless you had enough meter to convert into SA2, Super 2, then definitely back throw into the corner when you're that close to the corner is the way to go. Because even though you would have net a little less damage, your follow-up of hitting and control would be that much higher because he's in the corner. And if you look at Yang's life bar right now, that's a stomp into slaps and a fierce punch, right? Or one command grab and deadly blow because you have SA2.
Prepare to strike now.
Okay. Alright, so I'm just going to be talking a lot, and it's hard to always implement this, but because after throw Q never really gets a lot of Oki, you could do stuff like, if you can't get a meaty at this point, it's walk up, parry throw, or walk up, call their jump out, or early meaty slaps. And early meaty slaps is risky, one, because they could blindly parry and not even see what they parry and press a button and it will interrupt slaps, and then also because it's just easy to red parry. But those are kind of your three options, and once you rotate through those options to get a feel for your opponent, you can throw in other things. Damn, like I hate to keep nitpicking, but again, I miss everything too. That jump in could have converted into a super. That would have been the round. Yep, sometimes the crossover does, when you try to throw, you get the dash. Okay, you can see how when Yang is on his wake up, he is moving instantly. So, yep, and of course stun. Damn, hit you with the taunt too. So yeah, so with Q, because he doesn't have good pressure normally on wake up, he doesn't really get to do a lot of true meaties. You gotta kind of predict the step after your wake up. That's with a lot of characters actually in certain situations. The worst characters, but yeah. I mean, you know there, that's punishable. Okay, again, back throw instead. Good anti-air. Great. Ah, yep. Okay, we know. If you hit that, this would have been your round. Easy to call out. Yeah, that's the Yang blender. It's super tough for Q when he's in the corner because he has his little cheeky resets. Mr. Yang. Okay, anything past a light Manta Slash should be, if it's close, okay, now you know that should have went to super, would have been your round. Oof. Oh. Excuse me. I mean, that part's easy to see, right? Any one of those normals, just instead of those normals doing a car back throw, would have been the round.
Are you ready? Go.
Okay, got away with a free taunt. Nice. Yeah. Alright, so I'm just going to do a quick note. This is hard to recognize mid-match, but let's just go for it. Alright. So he was really brawling you, right? And then he backs off a little bit to give you some space to basically, essentially bait the dash punch. So if we saw that and we're like, damn, how did he know? He didn't know as much as like that was the purpose of him backing off, literally to bait that dash punch, right? So what could you do in this situation? You could jump, yeah, empty jump, even jump with like some kind of weird timed roundhouse. That's an option. You could sit there and build meter, but what might be an interesting take is doing a dash, right? If you dash, he's waiting for a dash punch. So when you dash, he might be parrying, and you might get right here, closer to him, scot-free. And you're slightly more out of the corner, you get a little better advantage. You're very close to car grab range. Food for thought. Yep, that's it. I mean, it's tough for Q in the corner with Yang. Those overheads combo into damage. It's tough. You got to take those L's. Okay, I want to see. I know the taunt is attractive here, but what we really want to do is do back kick into dash punch to maintain that space advantage. You'd be on the corner and be able to actually get a real meaty setup on him. You don't have to do a meaty, but it's the threat that you can actually do a meaty setup that leads to other things. So one of the things here is taking throws. Like sometimes you're gonna have to just take a few. There you go. So instead of letting a dash rip, you're gonna have to do stuff like jump back fierce. Yep, you know that was a punish. Okay. So in situations like that, you know he's fully stocked. He's feeling a little bit of pressure. Oh, you got the round anyway. You can think of alternate attacks while still being semi-safe, like universal overhead. Universal overhead, right, correctly timed, would have gone over SA2. Pardon me. Okay, yeah, that's rough. The only thing I would say in this situation is that you gotta stay active in the sense of maintain movement or normals for him to run into. That's really the only thing I can say at that point. It's a tough match. There's no real perfect solutions without being one step ahead and calling something out big. Or parrying one of those, you know. Okay. Whoa, whoa! Alright, sometimes you gotta let an upward slap just rock to call him out. Okay, that's interesting. Alright. Very good little sequence, but right here, that down medium kick. That down medium kick, while sick, you got some damage, leads to nothing. So unless you're playing some type of mind game or something like that, we want to do something more like maybe down medium, down light kick, which recovers faster. That might let you lead to actual setup. You know, down medium kick is just a little bit of damage and that's all you get. No type of setup or anything like that. Unless you were gonna quickly jump back and fight for position, it's kind of like a wasted opportunity because, you know, as a Q player or just a low tier, any low tier in general, you get very limited opportunities. Alright. That's a great little maneuver. Any neutral jumps you can scoot under with your dash punch. Okay, he's jumping all over the place. This is what I talk about staying active. The second you have a little bit of breathing room, dash punch under him, dash back, jump back, fierce punch, something. Anti-air standing jab. Like, the important thing is to stay active and learning what things you can cycle through to stay active and semi-safe. Alright, you know you can just punish that. You know you can punish that. Throw that every time. Yeah, that's just rough days. Yeah, that's just Yang doing Yang shit. So I hope that was kind of helpful in the sense of that you're able to see that just a few things can really net a lot of positive change. But you've already grown since you've sent me this replay a lot, so good on you. This was kind of hopefully beneficial to other players, even if they don't play Q. In fact, I would love to do other people's videos or watch other people's replays if they would like some tips or ideas, or just get a different perspective on how they play. Anyway, y'all, peace out, and later.